Welcome, everybody, to Tennessee Wildcast, or musical offices.
Yeah, we're all over the place.
This is the weekly podcast of the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Jason Harmon right over here. I'm Doug Markham. Todd Mazouris is sitting right over here helping us out. And we'll introduce our guest in just a minute. Look, This show is going to tell you all about something that's important to your life if you're a sportsman, because it has to do with licenses and a lot of other stuff. But you want to hear this. It's a big change coming to Tennessee, and we don't want you freaking out when you go buy your license. And there's no reason to, because everything is all good. And no, we're not talking about increasing the cost of licenses at all. But anyway, Jason, there's a lot going on, though. Let's tell them how they can get information from us when we're not sitting here in this studio talking to them.
The best way to get the information is our website, tnwildlife.org.
It is. There's tons of stuff out there, and we're always updating it. And, of course, Jason is always wanting you to send your stuff, your photographs, to our trophy room, because this is the time of year when a lot of you are getting some trophies.
Yeah, I wanted to show folks at home the trophy room. It's growing as the season is getting in full swing. We've had some entries here just recently. I seen it this morning, and I got it up there and featured on our trophy room.
Man, oh, man. Man, oh, man.
A father and son hunt there is the first picture you see, and they're just happy to have two deer there. I guess that was a good morning. But
how do they do it, though? If you want to put a photograph on tagboard,
it's real easy. You just go to one of those social media sites that you see there, and if you're listening at home, it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Flickr, Pinterest, Google+, or Vine. You go to one of those sites and post your photo, and make sure you use the hashtag TN Trophy Room, and it'll generate to our tag board, and I can feature the photos, and you can go right here and see them right here from our website. The link is at the bottom. That's the easiest one to get to, right there under featured links.
A lot of stuff right there to get to, period. If you just scroll up that site, you'll see what you need to know as we get rolling into another hunting season. And, of course, the deer season's several weeks in now. And we'll remind everyone, if you're one that likes to keep up with numbers, you can always go out on the site and check out the harvest report out there and see what's going on in your favorite county or on your favorite wildlife management area.
Right.
I also want to remind the youngsters or the parents of youngsters that we got a bunch of hunts that'll be coming up pretty soon. Youth hunts.
The first juvenile weekend, or it's late October, I guess, is that hunt. You can sign up now and hopefully get to go to the new Buffalo Ridge Refuge and go on that special hunt there.
You did a little work out there this week.
Yeah,
what were you doing?
They're prepping stands and getting stuff ready for the youth hunt, and then the women's muzzleloader hunt in November, and then they'll have the wounded soldier hunt out there. I guess that's in December.
And you're going to put a video out there on a Wildcast Extra coming up?
Yeah, we'll throw a video on Facebook and show the guys working and see what kind of stands you'll get to hunt out of if you get drawn for the hunt.
And maybe get
all the work going on.
How to put up a good stand, right, along the way.
Some great stands, and they'll show you how to
I bet that was fun. Is that a pretty neat property?
It's awesome property. Huge, a lot of places to go and explore, and a lot of big deer.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, check out all our shows. We keep them out on the various places you can find them, TWA TV among them. And you can watch Donald Hossey from a few weeks ago telling you all about this area.
Yep.
And a lot of other stuff that Donald filled us in on for the kids. And
he's behind a lot of these hunts and gets them organized and gets them going, and does a great job.
All right. And if you're wondering why we're sitting in this little office kind of all tight, it's because TWA continues its never-ending project to put new electricity and lights into this building, and so we've been moved out of what we call Studio B back into Studio A, and we're a little bit tight, but it's comfortable, tight, hot, a little. Anyway,
it's fine.
It's fine. All right, let's show our guests today.
Sure.
And they are the best dressed. We're going to give them the best dressed award.
Look at this tie over here, and
it's
nice
Michael
blouse.
May. Michael's the chief of our information technologies, and Alicia Chasty is the chief of our revenue department, and they have to go to the legislature later today. But we like that you dressed up for us.
We did it just for you.
Thank you, Michael. Hey, we got a big thing coming up, Michael, and it seems like it almost seems kind of wonkish or to talk about vendors. But I'm so excited about what's going on with this, and I think the sportsmen will be too. And it's not. It's very important to their life, what you've been working on you and Alicia for the last, 3 or 4 years, seems like, of your lives. Give us a brief definition of or understanding of what it is, and I got some specific questions for both of you.
Well, we've had...
you can pull it on over here.
You all right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
We've had the current system up for over 15 years. So
when you say system, what do you mean by that?
Our licensing system.
Okay, all right.
So the online system and where you go out to all the different licensed agents like Walmart's or so forth.
Right.
And you buy your license there. That whole entire system is nearly 20-year-old technology. So we were tasked several years ago to go try to figure out what is the best way to move forward, new technology, online technology, new hardware, and all that kind of thing. So after doing a round-robin trip around the country several years and talking to other vendors in other states, we came up with put an RFQ out, and we got a great vendor called Brandt.
What's an RFQ? Is that just like a bid process
it is
or
a bid
something?
process,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
to make sure we got the best vendor out there.
Okay.
And I think we did. We got the best vendor out there called Brandt, and they've got a great application, and we're taking a look at all the different things out in different states, and we're making a great online experience and a new system that is pretty much top of the line across the country.
A couple of things. If you've ever gone, I just got back from a trip to Tampa, Florida, and I had to buy a license to go, so I bought their annual. And the experience, I bought it online, was really cool. It was really easy, and that's what we're talking about. And we'll get into more detail in that. But the system or the folks we're working with have the Florida and the Georgia systems already. So if you've ever bought licenses from them, that's who we're working with now, correct?
It is, and I think we're even tweaking it beyond what they've got, so it's an even more updated version.
All right. Well, it's going to be good for sportsmen, and we're going to get in to the reasons why. But, Michael, what we've had, I remember the days when I started working at TWRA, it was just
which was
pretty
a long
much,
time ago.
It was a long time ago. That's the point I'm about to make. Many years ago.
Was it even called TWRA back then?
Barely. The directors got me beat by a little bit.
They were slinging rocks in his time.
Yeah. Anyway, they were also writing paper licenses back then.
Right.
You had to go to a license agent and stand in line a long time, and you got these licenses that you stuck in your pocket. There was hardly any technology to it. There was some, of course, but then all of a sudden, about 15, 20 years ago, y'all brought us into a new world, and now we're stepping up in that world of technology. Is that pretty correct?
Right, and it began 3 years ago when we went to the mobile app and we took away the harvest tag, and so that we can sell licenses online. So it really began our journey then. And this is we're really moving into the future with what we're doing now.
Okay, all right. Let's do the direct thing. Alicia sent a photograph to me of what licenses are going to look like here pretty soon. When will this start, first of all? When will the sportsmen begin to notice there's a change in how they buy licenses or what they buy, what they get?
It'll begin on Halloween, October 31.
October 31. That's easy enough to remember. And Jason, is it up? What is this that we have? Tell us what the license they will begin seeing starting on the 31st. What will it look like?
It'll be a paper license like you print on your normal computer paper, 8.5 by 11. It'll look like that if you've got that pulled up, Jason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It'll be a lot easier to read than the current version. It'll have all your information up there, very easily read, and I'm looking over here at it. And it'll have all your licenses on there, and it'll have a lot of room to put all of them on there, and a lot different than what we have right now. I think it's done a really good job over all the years, but it's just outdated technology. This is a much better way to view it.
Literally a piece of paper like this.
Absolutely.
Is what you're going to be getting, and I think everybody's going to like it.
Yeah. In addition to that, it'll be emailed to you, so you can either have that piece of paper in your pocket, or you can just not use it and just keep the PDF version on your phone, just the electronic version on your phone, and go there. It's completely legal to use.
There you go. We get asked that a lot.
Yeah.
Is it legal to have that on your telephone, on your cell phone, and the agencies are okay with it?
The agency has really gone down that path. They're actually promoting that.
All right, the 8.5 by 11 paper. I noticed that what Alicia sent has a couple of, it's got resident big game license and resident combination hunting license. What if I decide to get something else? What if I decide to go get the waterfowl license or the trout license, or what do you do?
You want to take that?
Here, push it on over to her. Alicia, what would happen?
With each additional license, it will display every license you have already purchased that's valid. So all of your licenses will display every time you purchase an additional one.
Does that mean throw away your old piece of paper and use the new piece of paper?
Yes, you don't have to carry multiple pieces.
Okay, so it is show all down there. And I know it was a lot of discussion, and either one of you on this. What about, we're in deer season. What if you go out and you harvest a deer? Will this have anything to do with harvesting of deer?
No, there's not going to be any change to that at all. You can still harvest your deer online on your mobile app, or go to a convenient agent near you.
Okay, question 2. We have replacement costs for when you lose licenses. in Tennessee, $5 or $7. Alicia, you know, of course, but what's going to happen from there, Alicia? If you lose this license, will there still be a replacement cost if the piece of paper gets wet?
If you choose to go into an agent, you will still pay that replacement cost, but because you do have that PDF and you can go online and access that PDF anytime that license is valid, you can reprint it as many times as you like at home for no fee.
Okay, and the other question, I know I was asking y'all off camera yesterday, if you buy it from a licensed agent, if you go out and get this new 8.5 piece of paper from an agent, and then you lose it, you don't have to go back to that agent. I think you just said we don't, but I'm making sure you can do it from the house.
You can do it from the house anytime you have a valid license. You can print it at home. You can access it either through the PDF that was emailed, or you can go directly to our website and access it again.
Okay, all right. What about the
I was going to say, hold that up there and show it to them. We showed it on the screen, but that's the example there.
the exact size?
This camera right here.
Right here.
Doug.
All right.
Let Michael hold
Michael,
it there.
show it? All right.
But that's the full 8.5 by 11 example that you can print out and carry with you.
All right, fold it up, and you also have, I noticed you had dotted lines in there if you want to cut out just the license part, Michael, and not necessarily look at the advertising part or whatever.
Yeah, you can cut it out if you wish, make it smaller. You don't have to. You can fold it up like it is. You can do anything you want to with it. It's perfectly fine, however you want to do it. We're just adding, really not taking away anything from you, just making it a lot easier.
All right. There are a bunch of other good things about this, and Alicia, I want you to talk for a minute to the license agents themselves. And then we'll get into some of the specifics for sportsmen. But what would this mean to a license agent? Say you've got a business down in Wayne County somewhere, and this is all brand new. What are y'all telling them?
This is going to be a much simpler system. It'll be much more user-friendly for them. They'll be able to see all of the customer's information immediately, right up front. They don't have to guess if their address has changed or if they have the correct customer pulled up. It's also going to make that transaction a lot easier to choose. They'll be able to see all the various licenses available all at once instead of having to scroll through so many screens. It will all be visible, and it'll just be much quicker to process these licenses.
Okay. I know too. We were talking. There's most of everything you're going to see is going to be the 8.5 paper, but there's still going to be that old stock out there, what we call durable stock. Will there still be some vendors out there that have this?
Yes, some of our agents, those long-standing agents that we've had, still needed that durable printer because of commercial space on their counters and
right.
whatnot, and so we are providing to those agents that we're needing to have that durable printer. We have some of those. There's about a third of our agents will have that durable printer stock.
Okay, so the question there, you go buy your license from one of those agents, and then you decide, I'm going to buy another license. Can you somehow go home and end up with this paper license and everything be on it?
Yes. It doesn't matter where or how you purchase the license. That PDF version will be available to you the entire time that license is valid.
All right. And will this be like our old licenses? Will the ID that we have now, we all have IDs if we buy a hunting fishing license. And not just our Social Security, there's an ID that identifies us. Will that ID transfer over to this paper copy, or over to our new system?
Yes, your ID will transfer over to the new system, and all valid licenses will transfer over into the new system at Go Live.
Okay, so it's really almost seamless to the folks that are going to be buying this stuff. They're just going to see a paper copy, and some of them they're just wondering why.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
It's just going to be easier, Doug.
It's just going to be easier. I like it. Let's tell them about some of the things now that you say it. It's going to be easier. There's something I've got a list here of notes I took when Brant came in, was talking to y'all on. One of them was a package license sales, which I really liked. I put like exclamation marks around that. What does that mean, the package license?
Got it. Before getting into that real quick, I just want to point out, make it easy for everybody to understand, the old machines were those little bitty machines that they had to key in all the information on a little bitty keypad
right.
on that little bitty screen. And what we're talking about, even for the license agents and you at home, everybody, it's going to be on a computer screen, much like what you're interacting on any of the really top-of-the-line sales internet sites that you go to nowadays. So it's going to be that type of experience. That's why it's so much easier.
It will make it a lot easier typing on a keyboard versus us, because even a lot of us use that little system even at work to check in deer.
It's archaic, but at the time it was a big
it was
deal.
cool.
Oh
It was
yeah,
a big deal. We were real, right?
Right.
Remote easy access system or licensing
license system, right?
Yeah, license system.
And we're keeping the name,
Okay, but it's just even more real now,
right?
right?
We're keeping it real.
All right. So tell me what package
You gonna edit
license
that
is.
one?
Keeping it real.
No, we got to keep that in.
We're keeping it real.
What's a package license system? What is that? Package licenses. I can't say that, but what does that mean?
So when you log in, actually you don't even have to log in. You go to the website, and it will be
What website are we talking about?
to our licensing site, and you'll get there by going to tnwildlife.org,
Okay.
and there'll be a link on the front page.
That's a nice plug. By
You
the
like
way.
that? Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, and which our division helps put that together for you guys.
We know.
So
Move on.
that's the reason why I know it. No, just joking. So what we do is you go into that licensing page, website, and from there, instead of logging in like you had to even get in there, you can go and peruse the entire site now. You don't have to log in. You can. It's like, I don't want to plug any type of establishment out there, but some of the main shopping internet experiences that you have out there right now, where you can go and shop online and do all your shopping prior to logging in and purchasing. That's the concept that we have now. So you have a shopping cart, all that kind of thing that you can plug in. So these packages will be right on the front page. I think we've got about 7. Is that correct? And if you want to go out and be a sports fisherman, if you want to do, I don't know,
Big game hunting.
big game hunting or
Duck
waterfowl,
hunting, waterfowl,
that kind of thing. If those are the things that you want to do, you can click on that, and it'll already populate all the applicable licenses and permits that you need to have, and you don't have to think about it.
All right.
I mean, we've
So if
been
you don't
working
get a
here
sportsman's license, this really helps. If you're not buying the sportsman's license.
And even for us, and I can tell you, and people at home, I'm sure that they think that we know all of these things and it's memorized. Few of us have memorized all of these, and so I don't even remember which licenses we need to have. So this
Type
is going to help
94,
me
Type
out.
95 and 01 and all those numbers.
It's going to be
Yeah.
that'll be one of the biggest things. So you just click on that, and you just go.
So if I'm going to go duck hunting next year on Old Hickory WMA, and I got to have this license to draw and this one to actually hunt if I get drawn, and et cetera, and on, it's just going to be right there in the package, and I don't have to think about
You
it.
don't have to think about it, and those will be our most popular packages for the season. So those will update seasonally on whichever ones that they're the most popular at that time. And you can still go through and pick the particular license you want. That's not going to be taken away from you.
Okay. And then I wrote down something called Profile Centric, too. I had to ask y'all what it was. Make perfect sense to me, but it seems it goes well with this license package in some ways. What does Profile Centric mean?
Basically, you log in. When you log in, you can do everything under one login. You don't have to, for example, if you wanted to buy a license previously, you had to log in, buy that license, and then you made that sale. And then if you wanted to do something else, you had to log back in again. This means basically when you log in, you can do all of that one-stop shop. It's a one-stop shop type of thing. You can harvest, buy a license, donate for Hunters to the Hunters for the Hungry. You can do all of those things under one login.
Okay.
That's basically what it means.
Okay.
Can you buy licenses for other folks under that login, or do you have to log in as another individual for buying for your son or something?
Right. You'll need to log in under them.
Okay.
All right. And one thing that went through my head and went right back out, but it's back in there again. What about I think it's back in there anyway. What about the waterfowl stamp or the waterfowl license the federal government makes you have to have, rather? Will it be a part of our package, or are they still going to have to go to the post office?
They'll still have to do that. I will let the cat out of the bag a little bit. We are pursuing a function with the federal government to be able to do an e-stamp, and we apply for that right to be able to do that. We haven't gotten it yet. We're waiting for that to happen. They do that annually. They only pick a couple states a year, but we're trying to get that. And when that does come online, you'll be able to add that to the package, and you'll be able to hunt that day with that certification number that you get with that, and then you'll be able to just wait for your stamp to come in. Now that hasn't come out yet, but we're working on it.
We're going to get into our app, our phone app, more in a minute. But will all of this be working through Brent with our app? Will it eventually, or is it going to from the beginning work with our app?
It'll be on every platform that we currently have.
Okay. So if you got a
Meaning, yes, it'll be on the app.
okay, all right, good. And we're going to get more into that app.
You'll be able to still harvest the same way.
All right. I'm going to go back to something y'all said a minute ago. Reiterate: if you buy a license, you will get a confirmation from us or from Brant that license has been purchased, that's going to be your proof?
Correct. You'll still be able to get a confirmation number. You'll get an email that comes in and with that license on here, or just if you do a harvest, it'll look just like this and show you that you did a harvest. That'll be the only difference on there. So everything will come in through an email for you if that's what you want to do, or you can just go down to the store and do it there.
All right.
We haven't taken away the option for you to go down to the store.
Have not?
No, not at all.
If you're a traditionalist, keep on being a traditionalist.
Absolutely. You can go down there, but you'll be getting one of these pieces of paper, more than likely.
Okay. All right. So just easy as it can be.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we need to know about that? What else should we know about what's
I
going to
think it's
happen?
Alicia's turn to talk.
Okay. We'll push it over there to Alicia because we're going to talk about the app here in just a minute. Alicia, anything else that the license agents should know going into this? You feel like they're going to be all ready to go on October the 31st all across the state?
I think we're making good progress towards that. We are trying to work with them. We're talking with them every day. Many of them. We are trying to communicate really effectively and really help them through this process. It's going to be, I think, an easier transition than some of the people are afraid of. I think it's going to go much smoother.
All right, and there's always a contract associated with this. Seems like y'all been working with Brant for several years now toward this great day for everyone on October 31st. How long will we be working with Brant? Was there a contract that the state worked with them?
Yes, this is a 10-year contract, so the system will be up and running for 10 years.
All right, and getting better every year, we hope, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go to the app in a minute, but while I got you, Alicia, I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curve in there. Not a big one, not anything you can't handle, but I want to ask you about HEN real quick, if you don't mind me asking. You have a staff under revenue that's always doing something pertaining to licenses, but you also have a staff that has something to do with boat registration or boat numbers called HEN. What is that? And give us a little explanation.
Well, a boat HEN is a whole ID number. It's real similar to a VIN number on a car. All manufacturers after 1972 were required to attach this to a vessel that they manufacture, and we were required to collect it. Unfortunately, what we collected was not always accurate, and so the Coast Guard has mandated that we correct every hull ID in our system. So we have been working for about 3 years towards this goal, and we are making good progress, but we do still have quite a few unproperly formatted hull IDs in our system.
What when you say improperly formatted, what does that mean? Does that mean a missing number, too many numbers? What does it mean?
Generally, they're typos. It's missing a number. Occasionally, the manufacturer put an incorrect number on a boat or put the same number on multiple vessels. So we're going back and trying to figure out and working with our customers to get them a correctly formatted.
Is this going on across the country? Does everybody have a HEN working for them somewhere in that whole identification number?
Yes, this is a nationwide mandate by the Coast Guard, so every state is working towards this.
So it's going to be universal. Officers
Yes.
go out in Florida, officers go out in California, Tennessee. They're all going to be working with us as they call in and check a whole number. It's all going to be the same thing.
Yes.
All right, and how much longer, or what if somebody's sitting in their house? What would it look like if they got a letter saying they needed to respond to it?
Well, they'll either get a salmon-colored card telling them that it's time to renew your boat, but you need to call us and get that whole ID updated. Or when you renew your boat, you may get a letter with your registration stating that something was not properly formatted, and you need to go look at your boat and give us a call so that we can get this corrected.
Is it
for you.
easy on the boat, or no, not a problem?
We try to make it as easy as possible. We will talk with them over the phone. We'll take mail. We'll take emails. We'll take texts. We will try and get this information and make it as easy for you as possible.
Okay, and you told me the other day what's the number you started with looking for, and what are you down to?
We started with over 200,000 bad hull IDs in our system.
Golly.
We are now down to 84,000
Yeah.
bad numbers in our system.
And those
So-
are going to work on those 84,000.
Yep.
So how many boats are there in Tennessee registered? I mean, I thought maybe 200,000 was it, but that's just how many. So
No. We
I
have
can't remember.
well over 1 million boats, I think, that
Sure.
have been registered in
Wow.
our system in the state of Tennessee.
that's a lot of boats.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of boats. Okay, so if you get a letter, it's not anything awful. Just apply to it. And folks pretty good about getting back with you when they see the salmon color come in.
We've gotten a really good response from our customers, and we're really grateful that they're so good to work with us.
Okay, and whole numbers are found on boats, of course, that have motors that are put on them, right? Or are whole numbers found on things I might not think about?
Any manufacturer that believes a motor, even a trolling motor, is going to be attached to that vessel is obligated to put that manufacturer's whole ID number on there.
And tell us, what is in a whole number? What does a whole number mean as you go across it?
It's a 12-digit number. The first 3 usually indicate the maker of the boat. The last 2 or 3 usually indicate the year. There's some letters and numbers all mixed up in the middle.
That's just IDs you at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, but the first 3, you know who manufactured it, whether it was a Phoenix or a Triton or whatever manufacturer you might like, and the last 3 is the date, or 4, did you say?
The last 2 or 3,
2 or 3.
depending on when it was
So
manufactured.
you have an idea when your boat was actually going through that line and came out on the other end. That's pretty cool. All right, good deal. Let's talk about the app. Michael, you back in the days when I was doing a radio show, you came on to it 3 times, and we talked about this new innovation that TWRA was also going through. Sometimes the agency's a little slower than some folks to get going on some technological things, but once we get going, we go good. And especially with you working down there in IT now, it seems like we're really moving on into that world. And one of the things that you've really been proud of is the phone app, the smartphone app that we have. What's the latest with it, and what's the future for it?
We are now at about 288,000 downloads for the state, and I'm sure that that's out of state as well, because we have a lot of people from out of state that come here to hunt and fish. So more than likely nationwide. So about 288,000. We're working on updates to it. It's about 3 years old now, and they should be coming out, new license year, about March. It's going to streamline it. There'll be things added to it. I don't really want to talk about what they are right now. I want to make it a surprise.
We'll do a whole show on that one.
Okay,
Sure.
yeah, sure. And so it's going to be more streamlined, more functionality, easier to flow through it. When we came out with it, it was top of the line. It was the best practice methodology of creating an app, and the user experience was that. And now 3 years later, it needs to be upgraded to keep that current status. And I think, we go out to the Conservation Business Managers Association meetings throughout the country, and we have one of the, if not one of the leading apps out there, and we want to stay that way.
Well, you've done, I know you're proud of the work that your guys do and working with it, and you sure have helped bring us a long way. You and Alicia, with everything you're doing with Brand also, and all the staffs that are there. Can people, just for those who maybe never have downloaded the app, what can they do with it? Can they put their harvested deer on? Can they check in deer through that app?
Oh, absolutely. So you can buy your license, you can renew a boat, you can harvest your deer, and any of your big game on there other than bear. So you can basically deer and turkey.
Well, what about Jason? Go ahead.
And we can't harvest Jason on
Can't
there.
harvest Jason. You've always got your mind on that app. You got any thoughts on it?
I think it's great, and then the improvements coming along are going to make it even better. It's great that even on Apple, Android, you can download it on either type of device. But yeah, it's to check in your deer and to buy your license right there on the app makes it so easy. And
Okay.
the features that's coming in the near future are going to make it even better.
Does it cost anything to download our app?
It's absolutely free, but it'll cost you shame if you don't.
How many downloads have we got so far? Do
So
you
I was
remember?
saying, right, over 288,000. We should probably be clearing 300,000 by the end of the year, I would suppose.
And an interesting number that we were talking about, that how the online check-in and now the app has really changed
Sure.
the way people check in their deer. What percentage did you tell me a number of people that are now checking deer in online?
Yeah, so between online, which is going home and doing it at your computer, and mobile, we're right just under 80% of our total harvest is done through that method.
Wow, that has changed the dynamics of checking in deer for somebody who started, I said, a long time ago when I can remember deer laying from one end of a pavement to the other. Now you go there and sometimes you wait all day
Right.
because we're checking them online. Yeah, all right. Alicia, thank you. Great job. And Michael, thank you. Great job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Y'all go down there and have a good time with legislature, okay?
Thank you.
Good luck with that. All right. All right. Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, thanks for watching this edition of Wildcast, Tennessee's Wildcast. You can find us online, tmwildlife.org, at tmwildcast.com. Any way you want to get there, you can watch us on twra.tv
Yep.
and listen on iTunes. We're everywhere.
Tell your friends about us because we tell you a lot of stuff every week, and we're always out there. And we'll be back next week.